Hello, everyone. This is Nurullah, and I'm here in Cappadocia with Wesley Huff. And Wes, so we are in front of these fairy chimneys, and as we call them in Turkish, Peri Bacaları. And the first time I heard like this hidden story behind them, because I've never heard them before, I was very surprised. So can you please enlighten us about what these were used for, especially by Christians?
Yeah, so we have records of Christians hiding in the fairy chimneys, hollowing out the insides and making rooms to avoid persecution from the Romans. So Cappadocia in general has a long history of Christians hiding and avoiding persecution from the Romans early on under, say, the Emperor Diocletian, who enacted an edict that made Christianity illegal, but also from other groups like the Mongolians. And so we really have records of centuries of Christianity existing here, but specifically existing here to avoid persecution. And that keeping a long history of Christians in general in places like Turkey and using it as a safe haven for avoiding persecution and death.
Mm-hmm. And we've seen a similar thing in Derinkuyu, in that underground city, right? But especially about Peri Bacaları, I really did not know this. And from my geography classes, I just heard that they were natural occurrings. But do you think like they carved these out themselves as well? Or like how was that with the natural process and what they were doing to hide from persecution?
Yeah, so they were hollowing out some of these areas of these natural structures because the rock is very porous and they're able to do that. And then they would stay inside them. And we actually earlier today visited some churches that were carved out from the sides of cliffs in a very similar way. Not exact, but that being sort of a tradition that appears to exist in this particular geographical area for what the Christians did, going back into the 4th century and right onwards into the 9th, 10th, 11th, and one of the churches we visited even had a 12th century kind of iconography in it. So long history of Christianity here in Turkey.
Wow. And that's me being educated by a Canadian in my own country, because I did not know about the stories behind these chimneys, Peri Bacaları. And I hope you also learned something good. Also, do not forget to follow Wes and his work too. Thank you, Wes, for enlightening me.
Yeah. Make sure to subscribe, follow, and like all of Nurullah's content.
Thank you. Yeah.